cool. I got my friends
Your
on.
peeps showing up.
My peeps are showing up. This is cool. This is cool. We're also on Get Down and Dirty Talking Art Facebook Live too. Okay. There we are. Okay.
Didn't have my little
It's going fast.
candy.
Did you bring the candy? Or?
I did, but I didn't eat it.
Oh, okay.
So now I feel myself like,
What?
oh, hi,
Hi.
everyone.
We're just talking.
Hello, right. Sorry, we're live. Hello. You're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Calibri the artist.
And Debbie LaPratt. And we are here at WJZZ Cool TV, watching us live on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. And also, please like, follow, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
So we are here with our two amazing guests. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Ian Grant, gallerist, curator of Emoja Fine Arts.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
We're so happy you're back.
It's a pleasure to be back. We had so much fun
We
last
did.
time, so
We did.
we wanted to have more fun.
That's right, that's why we're back. And we have this amazing artist. Go ahead and
Hi, everybody. I'm Ty Rawls, fine artist, and right now I'm most of my paintings, all my stuff really is at Emoja Fine Arts. So I'm their newest team member. I'm proud to say.
amazing news team member.
So
And
Yes.
you guys are just coming off of a successful exhibit, Art in Full Bloom.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
yes,
Good
yes.
Selling off the walls before the show even
That's
started.
right. We couldn't even get to see him. All
He came in actually right before then, like, I'm sorry,
Right.
I got to take this call. You know, I just sold too.
And I have to say thank you to our team. You know, we're team based, and to come up with the name Art in Full Bloom when we were just coming off the original show 1 and 2. So actually, we've been in show period since late September. So our first show during COVID, we were in show period for 5 months. Then we took 2 weeks break, and then we came back, and then we're in show period now another 2 or 3 months. So we basically been in show period for about 8 months during the pandemic. So we just want to thank the Father for, you know, giving us the strength, and, you know, also having the collective support us. You know, you're going to shut down if your business is not being supported. So we want to thank the Detroit marketplace. We want to thank the whole United States, because with our web, we have a lot of feature art that's being sold right on the website.
That's amazing. It's so great. That's just such a... I love to hear success stories like that. It just really makes us happy and stuff like that. And happy birthday!
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thank
Also,
you.
Oh,
happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday
happy
to Malcolm
birthday to
X.
Malcolm here.
Hey,
His birthday
Malcolm.
too.
That's right.
Yeah.
He shares an amazing birthday day. So,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the best things about my birthday is I get to share it with Malcolm. So
That's cool. That's
I'm
cool.
jealous.
Okay, you want to get started?
Sure. I mean, you have this amazing piece here, and you had quite a few pieces in the Art in Full Bloom show, and I'm sure sold. Well, I remember the stickers.
Yeah, we remember a lot of the stickers.
there are a few left. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, you know, we need people to go in there and look at the ones that are still standing. I think maybe some of the best ones are still there, so people should go and check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to tell them where you guys are at?
Yes, I'm just going to give the website, emojafinearts.com. If you come in there, you can go on to Ty Rawls to see all his work. Now, at the same time, we do have 4 other amazing artists. We got Shirley Woodson Reed, Kresge Eminent Award winner. We also have Marcus Glenn, 2014 Grammy Artist winner.
So what is a Grammy Artist winner? What is
Well,
that mean?
basically what a Grammy Artist winner is pretty much is they're the ones that's selected to create the artwork that year for the Grammys.
Really?
Then
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, and then in addition to that, they're on the front cover of the Grammy magazine, that art piece.
Whoa.
And each individual that comes in get a magazine. Okay, and then they start signing, and all the different stars start signing it. And plus, Marcus and his wife also got the opportunity to walk the red carpet with everyone else.
Fun that was.
Well, and to be at the Grammys and the whole bit. And then from there, they make a selective poster from the different pieces, and that is the award that night for the honorees. So it's really, really a great opportunity.
Do you carry
That's
any of the
some heavy-
Grammy pieces? That like the Grammy poster that they had, or anything at the gallery?
No, we have the magazine that people
okay,
could
yeah,
kind of
magazine.
look
Okay,
through there
okay.
and kind of
Everybody,
see
he's
what
definitely
went on.
superstar status, and that's something that
Yeah.
they showcase. Just period. All the artists on the Emoja team are heavy
Amazing.
hitters, and then part of this exhibit, you had Darren Darby as well.
And Darren did an exceptional job. He
Yeah.
came out of the shoot, and he still hasn't stopped. He's done a lot of incredible things for us behind the scenes, as far as designing out some art that was for personal collectors. So I think Darren should be pretty happy. Hopefully he is. But we've been doing our best. And last but not least, Robbie Best. We brought her in for a certain reason. We felt we had a gap in the show a little bit, and we felt based on her skills and also painting in oils. I love oils. And painting not only in oils, but painting on linen with oil. It's also very, very special for collecting, because we believe in building generational wealth. And so you want to be able to pick up some of the best pieces right now as things continue to accelerate in the marketplace.
That's so cool. Very cool.
Now, with putting together this exhibit, and just because you're now part of the team, it's the you. But putting together this exhibit and bringing Ty onto the team, why was that important, or what makes this such a significant move for you? Well, I guess this is a question for both of you. You know, what makes Emoja a fit for you, and I mean, going into damn near selling out the exhibit as a new member coming in, you know, and then going into big moves, huge moves, you know. I'm curious to know what the formula was. I know it's strategic. Both of you all are very strategic.
And I think it's really cool how you guys work together.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at Emoja for a while, and I knew that my old teacher, Paul Goodnight, was headlining there and had a home there, and so that drew my attention. So I think really just fate kind of worked itself out, and Ian called me, and we started talking, got together, and the next thing, the Full Bloom show happened. So for me, it was really just a natural thing, and I think I had in the back of my mind I was gonna try and do something with Emoja, and so when they called me, it felt like, I felt lucky. I trust Paul Goodnight's judgment, because I'm aware of his success, and I got to experience him as a friend, and so I have a certain level of trust in his judgment, artistically and business-wise. So that cut through a lot of sort of any initial building of friendship for me, and so it was real easy to trust Ian on a certain level, even though I didn't know him.
Right, you got a stamp.
Right, because the Paul Goodnight stamp of approval was there.
Was Paul Goodnight, you said he was your mentor or your teacher?
Well,
both really for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's not the type to take that sort of title himself, but
not as an artist, because he works with so many different individuals, but Paul and I have been hanging out since the early 90s in Atlanta and throughout the country. At one point in time, we did a lot of traveling to build the business throughout the United States. And so my first official mentor, icon figure, unfortunately, the late, great Annie Lee, was my first mentor. And unfortunately, she passed away 5 years ago. So since that time period, Paul Goodnight has filled that gap for me in my life. And He feels it two different ways from Annie. Annie, of course, you know she was a millionaire, but Annie's interest in art and everything she did and the way she went to market was based on monetizing, showing you how to monetize your business. Now, Paul mentors me in a different way. He mentors me so that I can understand the artist, understand what the artist is thinking, what they're feeling, where they're trying to go. So everything's not just always that hardcore business where we have to make these dollars and things of that nature. So it's a different teaching technique that's coming from him right now. So working with Paul, this is where we came up with the belly artwork, belly art, going deep into the belly.
That was a
and
great conversation.
That's an Ian Grant phrase.
So you asked about Ty and why we brought Ty on the team. We could tell some of the small reasons, but number one, because his artistic talent is it's just so awesome. Beautiful. And not only that, he base coats. I like artists that base coat.
No,
a lot of artists.
Base coat. Yeah, you go ahead and say base coats because I'm not a painter. So
and we'll get more too into your technique later, but please.
I mean, I think there are a couple reasons for base coat. I think it adds to the brightness of a painting, and then it's going to add to the longevity of a painting. And then I think he's talking about a couple different things. So there's the gesso base coat that's kind of like a frosting, depending on how thick you want to apply it, that is going to increase the longevity of the painting.
Okay.
And then the gesso itself will accept the paint better than just canvas. And the more gesso you have, I mean, there's a limit, but more gesso is better than less gesso, just in terms of accepting the paint and creating the best possible effect for your paint. And then it's going to add stability and thickness to the overall piece, which is going to give it durability and longevity. I mean, it's like a thick plastic, It's literally going to last 1,000 years.
That is awesome. Like an archival painting.
Yeah, it's not falling apart. You know what I mean?
Now, just to get back to the question you asked earlier so I could finish up with Ty, besides his talents coming on the team, Ty has multiple talents, okay? Some of these things we will not reveal today because they're, let's say, intrinsic to Umoja Fine Arts and where we're going and how we're going to make our mark internationally. So when we looked at an individual painter or two different painters, we look at what qualities do they have beyond just painting and being another painter, okay? Because what qualities do they have for the whole entire members on our team, so we can take our whole team to the next level.
That's really cool. It's like a community.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really important.
And this is the last thing I want to say. She's funny. That's the marketing side.
She's a gorilla.
Yeah. But what's most important is we take a look at individuals and we analyze them. Once they're in our presence, there's no I in team.
No.
So it's very, very important that you're coordinated and being about the team and not being about I. And so, in some instances, we have excellent artists, but we can't get rid of the I. So therefore, we can't have one bad apple spoil the bunch that we've been developing.
Of course.
That's cool.
On that note, we're going to take a break just to remind our viewers that you're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty, talking art with Calibri the artist.
And me, Debbie LaPratt, and our two amazing guests here. And we're on
Ty Rawls and Ian Grant.
Yeah. We're on watching live on WJZZ Cool TV. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
All right, we're getting back down and dirty talking art.
Absolutely. Now, Ty, I'd like to throw the ball back to you and kind of get into your artwork. But first, can you tell us about the piece that you brought with you today? This wonderful Malcolm X piece. Happy birthday, Malcolm. Happy birthday, Ty.
So let's see. This piece is it's the piece about justice. It's a piece to sort of honor what Malcolm was fighting for, and a lot of the people from this time, and so it's part of a series that I did as well, in a way, and so the main I think sort of the main point of the series was to come up with a word that fits with these main civil rights figures, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. And the word I came up with for Malcolm was justice. For Martin, I used equality, and for Rosa, I used access. And I sort of was imagining that those three words represent the sort of crystallized ideas of the civil rights movement. You know,
powerful.
Justice, equality, and access were really the things that we're fighting for, not necessarily in that order. I think we ended up getting a lot of access. I think we ended up getting the illusion of equality. And I think we're still fighting for the justice.
I think so too.
So that's what this piece is about. The flag is coming through his face, because you know it's part of him. He's American. You know, that was one thing that they were trying to deny us. They kept calling us communists and putting all these other labels on us that weren't really American, Muslim, and all these other things, when he's an American at heart. And so it was important for me to like get the flag as a part of him. And then at the same time, it's you know, it's painful to be a Black American at this time. So the blood of the flag is also represented in this, you know, sort of composition. And then there's also the motif of bars.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so he's in a way trapped in a kind of a prison, and most of it is because he's a good man. He's gonna fight the fight that he's supposed to.
Wow.
You know, the historical battle of good against evil. That's really what he was fighting. So that's what this piece is about.
It's very powerful.
It is.
It
The
is
colors that you
representative.
use are just. I just look at those colors and it's just so amazing. I love. Did you pick those colors for any reasons, or like on the face or anything, or is it just what kind of came to you as you were painting?
Yeah, so when I paint, when I'm using a reference, a photo, I always view it black and white.
Really?
So even if the photo was color, I'll get rid of the color so that my own sort of brain can decide
That's cool.
what to make what color. And so a lot of that's just instinctual, what I want. But I think here, since I have to balance out the white and red stripes with the blue, I was sort of forced to pick the colors I did for the face, for the effect that I wanted.
It's powerful.
know.
It's just I love. I can just look at it all day. It's a piece
Thank
that
you.
you want to just look at and you really feel the emotion behind it. It's great.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank
is
you.
there a reason? Because in your catalog, if you will, you do have a tendency to have creating iconic figures. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I started painting people that were important to me growing up. In particular, the black celebrity, anybody black that I could that I was looking up to as a child. I think one of the first actors, comedians, celebrities that I was drawn to and can remember was Richard Pryor. He was it for many years, but I think it started maybe around 4 or something, and then all the way into the teens, he was making movies. So that was one of the first memories I had, and I think that was the first real painting in this style that I did. Was Richard Pryor, and then
How old were you?
that was recent. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That was 2015.
Well, so you've just been painting about since 2015?
Well,
or
just
were you
in this style,
Oh, okay.
right? So I've been painting my whole life, drawing from the time I was 5, 6. From the time I could pick up a pencil, my mother would put me in front of stuff to draw. In my grandparents' home, there was, in the television room, there was a huge bookshelf. There were 2 of them. And to my best recollection, all that was in those shelves were art books.
Just so cool.
Okay, the expensive ones.
Yeah.
And my guess was probably like $5,000 worth of painting books.
Wow.
And so for me, it was, I understood early on that like the pinnacle of, being a person on this planet was to create great art. And if you could paint, then you were amazing. And, that's the impression I got from what, from sitting there at 5, 6, 7 my whole life, seeing them take books down and look at them in awe. Monet, Manet, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, all these different artists. I can't even recall them all.
I wanted to just take a second, a moment right now, and just go back to what you said, Calibri, because you asked Todd pretty much about him painting iconic figures, okay? And our goal through marketing and guerrilla marketing and all the different digital marketing techniques is to elevate the artist. So our goal for Ty is to take him from painting iconic figures to one day becoming an icon himself.
That is awesome.
So those are the structures we have in place. So this will be the first time that I'll ever challenge anyone on TV from the Emoja family. So Ty, we got a little challenge for you.
Probably
today.
got the laugh.
Challenge is on. I love it. Are
So-
you ready for the challenge?
So
Another arm wrestle? Come on, man. Again?
no, this one's going to be bigger than that, and this is going to be fun for you because this is Emoja Fine Arts model pretty much, and it's the belly art. We feel that you're in the belly, but what we want to do as a business is we want to range you out. And the only way that we can range you out and range you across the spectrum is for you to go another level or layer deeper into the belly and start slowly creating figures that are not just totally iconic figures. So maybe looking back to your past when you were growing up, or different things that has happened, or different things that's happening around the country right now, and bringing it out from yourself your kind of way. And I want to use Jacob Lawrence as an example. He was like Van Gogh, and of course he was in the institution for a little while. But when he came out, from all what he observed in the institution and people walking around like this and their head and all those kind of things, he then developed a whole series of line of how people looked in the institution. And then, we had Romar Beard, and he was able to do like the Great Migration series, where he was pretty much doing the migration from the south to the north. So those are some of the things that we're talking about. And that's one of the reasons why we brought you on the team, because we are able to see what you're able to do at level 1. We're so excited to see you at level 3.
Oh, I think so. I think he's gonna go there. I think he's gonna get there.
Yeah. Look, I mean, so the Black Madonna piece, that's sort of in the direction that you're talking about. I've got a couple other pieces that are in that direction, but
And when will the Black Madonna be ready possibly for the marketplace?
Man, well, that's another conversation, but we should talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least he's thinking about it. He's
Yeah.
taking a look at it. We're gonna watch him range out just like the rest of the Umoja artists. But you know, also,
challenge.
Yeah.
but also, you know, as he ranges out and he gets much more popular around the country, then it also means that his price points starts to adjust as we put him in these cycles and in different areas and, you know, different communities, and he wins these different awards and everything that he has coming to him, and then all the film. We're not going to talk about it too much, but all the potential future film opportunities that we have on the table and the lots that's going on. This is why we got to make sure he ranges out, because I can't wait for that piece myself. I think it's going to be beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah, well, you know, I also don't want to. The belly stuff has to be controlled. You know what I mean? Without a doubt, I feel like if I didn't control the belly stuff, you know what I mean?
I feel
Like,
you, Ty.
it would
And
just
I don't
be,
mean to
it
cut
wouldn't
you
be
off,
marketable. It'd be too scary.
I-
Real
'cause
real
I-
quickly, let me call Paul goodnight.
Oh,
Because
Lord.
he,
Got ya.
But I just wanted to say, because we had you on, you were the very first featured artist for the Detroit Fine Arts Breakfast Club. And I remember this was me like taking a leap of faith, like, you know what, I want to feature artists. Da, 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 da. And then afterwards, I was just like, man, like I'm in trouble. Like I enjoyed it, I really did. But it was, you had so much in you. You were like, yeah, fuck Trump. I'm like, wait a minute, where did this come from? You know, but I got to see the political art, you know, the caricatures and stuff like that, you know, and even touching about your upbringing and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, you probably fight somebody from the belly, like
Yeah,
tap
right.
into it, but tiptoe into it first, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, it's I don't know. Everybody has their stories. You know what I mean? Everybody has their stories. But when I tend to go in that dark place, I really feel like the visions I have would freak people out, man. You know, like it's not gonna be like, this is figuring out how to take something serious and still make it beautiful to look at. And I feel like belly art, if I don't focus on that beautifying aspect, I feel like that's what belly art is. It's like I have to.
No, I think belly art is what's coming from inside of you, how you feel, what you produce. I get to use like Rosemary Summers. She's been in the belly now since she's been with Umoja Fine Arts for a year and a half. You can see she's
and her stuff is
producing
pretty.
a new piece
Hello,
almost
Rosemary.
every
Right.
2 days.
I know.
Let's take a look at Marcel Stewart. Okay, Marcel's only been with us for 6 months. When he first came, he was doing the swoop splash, basically swoops and splashes,
Right.
every kind of way. And then we did have to get to the point with Marcel where we said, for 4 months, this is your last swoop splash that you can produce. For 4 months, you have to now go deep into the belly, and you have to produce out whatever is another part of your life. And what happened to him was he was in a social injustice event downtown, got locked up,
Yep.
went to jail, they scarred his face, was in a paddy wagon for 15 hours, and the whole beat
He
called
was
me.
just trying to help a lady.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was trying to help
That's
someone,
horrible.
right? And so basically he called me and I said, what do you want me to do? You want me to get you a lawyer? What do you, and he's just like, I just want you to know, Ian. I just want you to know this is what happened to me and how I'm feeling. I said, now the time is perfect.
Yep.
This is the strike time. Now go in the belly and put everything on canvas how you felt with that whole experience.
I agree.
And he's come back with nothing but masterpiece after masterpiece.
That's so great. We're going to take a fast break. We're going to take a little early
Sure.
break.
Before we get into digging deep,
Yeah, we're going to get down
just
dirty.
want to
digging
remind
deep.
our viewers that you're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Debbie LaPratt, Calibri the artist, Ian Grant, and the wonderful Ty Rawls. Tune in live on
Yep, WJZZ Cool TV. Life is on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow us, like, and share.
Yes,
And if
yes.
anybody's had any questions, I'm going to give the number out. It's 313-355-6010. 888. So please call for any questions for our guests. We would love to hear from you guys. Thank you. All right.
Okay,
You get
so
down
I
and
do
dirty
want
about the
to,
story. Come on.
Yeah, because I 100% understand what Ian is saying. But also, I understand the background as well. You know, like I said, we're kind of in this little parallel life where it's one thing to have an incident or have a few incidents, and it's another thing to kind of live amongst the enemy, so to speak. Like, well, I mean, just kind of reminded daily hateful. Like, you kind of do have to suppress it in a way because it's not pretty, you know, and it's even to put it out there, frame it pretty for it to be accepted. I totally do get it. Could you give us, I guess, just a bit of your backstory, or just explain why you just can't jump out? I guess can we peek into the belly?
Well, growing up, most of my time was in white neighborhoods. So, I'm growing up in the 70s and 80s, so you're experiencing a lot of racism. And so you end up defending yourself a lot. You end up fighting a lot. And you see things from a certain point of view. And I think that leads to a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. And I think my way of dealing with it was to sort of get in the zone and draw. Spend a lot of time creating compositions, and pouring myself into that, not necessarily knowing that it was a way of soothing myself and a way to allow myself to self-reflect on the experiences I was having. So, just to give you an example, when I was young, I moved into a new neighborhood, and the first day I was playing out in the front yard, a group of people gathered and started yelling at us to leave the neighborhood. We
That's
weren't
horrible.
welcome there, and they're calling us the N-word, and I was 4. You know what I mean?
And that really probably impacted you.
And I, that was a summer where we're moving there to go to the school that's local, where all these people are going to be, so the first day of school, I was attacked on the way to school. You can't go to this school. The school isn't for you. We're going to a school full of white kids.
That's horrible.
And so I think for me, it felt like, you end up with a lot of friends, of course, right? But you're being targeted every day. That's over time that builds up, and I think for me, art was a way of dealing with that. Not necessarily art, drawing, painting, deep focus and concentration on meaningful
putting yourself
compositions.
in another place,
Actually trying to develop, and by the time I got into my 20s, I was making my first comic book.
I didn't know you were a comic book.
Which, if you analyze, it's a black superhero because I'm trying to give people something in 99 what really hadn't happened yet. So in 99 we had Blade, which came out in 97 or 98. He was still a vampire chopping people up, not necessarily like the model standard of a superhero.
Right.
Even though we all loved him and the movie was
like
great.
Chadwick Boseman.
Right. Yeah,
So we had
right. Like
Meteor
Black
Man.
Panther is a totally different level where now he's heroic like Superman, and he has the moral capacity not to be chopping people down, and the movie's handled with a certain level of respect. And I loved Blade, don't get me wrong. Those creators were great. I loved that movie. It's a landmark. It came out before The Matrix. There were so many things about that movie that they don't get credit for. And Wesley Snipes is, you know, he's like one of the greatest, man.
Yeah.
So so anyway, you know, the upbringing, living in the white neighborhoods and all that, and sort of experiencing white culture as an outsider was difficult, and had, I think, the consequence of helping me develop some pretty good art skills. And by the time I got to see Paul Goodnight, you know, in my early 30s, it was, you know, he recognized that and then cultivated what we see today. Without him,
Amazing.
right.
Right.
He was the first one to make me realize that you could actually sell paintings. You know, so until then, this was like a problem I had. Not even until then, until just recently, but my whole life doing art was more of a problem. And I think when I met him, I'd figured out how to turn that problem into a comic book.
It was
So
cool.
there was you know, he was seeing someone who was figuring out how to monetize his art. But I had done that because I didn't believe I could sell paintings. You know what I'm saying? If I had known, man, all you got to do is this, this, and this, and people are going to buy your paintings, I would have painted instead. And, you know, for sure, making a comic book was very difficult.
Well, we got to
So-
come back to that.
Yeah.
You had asked Calibri and Deborah, what were some of Ty's other talents that would have you or your team pick him to be on the Emoji Fine Arts team. Now, as we move internationally and as we move universally across the globe, this is where his key perspectives will come to the table once we're making decisions, because he was brought up in a different area with getting a different understanding that you just can't be taught. You know, it's innate. So he will be able to bring all those different tools to the table. So that's why when we measure someone, we go really deep. We look
Go
for
into the
all
belly.
we go into the belly, yes. And as a marketer, I have to go into the belly. But as a marketer, one thing we know is that we have to continue striking, especially while, you know, the fire is hot and keeping that rod hot. We cannot slow down. We cannot stop, because right now we're at a pace where people are always expecting us to be producing something, bringing something out, making a move, and just doing different things. But to get back to Ty, that's another talent that he has that's going to be very, very useful for us, Emoji Fine Arts, as we move forward universally.
That's very cool.
I agree. That's actually something that, well, I have a project, comic books going in for next year, but kind of for that purpose, in the belly, because I can't be in jail, you know, and certain stuff has to come out, but it has to, I have this saying, I can show you better than I can tell you, so I'll draw it in a nice way, but I do, like, I see the hat, I see your shirt, you know, fight racism, and at least from what I can tell, you know, I do see where you've put it into the painting, you know, kind of as an alternative release therapy art, but not necessarily just your voice directly. And I do, at least from what I can see, or what makes me excited about it, is your voice, you know, coming for people that lived a life you lived, you know, for people like me who lived, so, you know, a life similar, you know, just having a voice, you know.
'Cause we were told that we were safer in those neighborhoods. We were supposed to feel better being in the white neighborhoods. You know, you watch shows like Different Strokes, and when you're that child in the white neighborhood, you get that message. This is better for me, that the television's sending you. But when you go outside, you realize this is not better for me.
Real life,
You know, and actually I'd feel a lot better if when I went outside, no one was targeting me because of the way I looked, you know. So, you know, I think that was something I had to grapple with, and I think all of these ideas make their way into my art. I think one thing you deal with is that there aren't very many of the faces around you don't look like yours. So you end up looking for media. That's why the first people I painted were from media.
Oh, okay.
Because I was desperately, at that age, I was desperately wanting to be around people like me.
Like they're looking.
I would see black families and want to go home with them. You know, in my mind, I would want to go back to their family. And what was that like to go home where no one, you know, you're in a neighborhood where no one wants to attack you. And
I think that's what adds to it. You know, not just from the perspective of you know how you grew up, but just the fact that, like you said, with looking for media, even for them to teach you one thing, it's kind of there's always a control of the narrative either way. So the fact that when you are depicting iconic people or just black faces, period, it's done in such an iconic way. You know, like Malcolm. You know, you could have painted him any type of way, but you painted him in a way that it could have been anybody. You know, this could have been Teddy Roosevelt. You know, and it would have been a nice picture to anyone looking. And especially for African Americans, you know, regardless of how they grew up in this country, it is really nice to see us, you know, kind of in a uplifted way.
Right.
And you do a wonderful job with that. You do.
I just have a question. You said that when you were at your grandmother's house, you had all the art books. Was somebody in your grandmother's or, you know, like your grandfather or grandmother artist, or they just really?
Yeah, actually, my grandmother is she just had her birthday a couple days ago, on the 16th.
Happy birthday!
And,
Happy birthday!
Right, she turned 94.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Right, and I think, you know, so yes, my grandfather and her were both, they both were art lovers, and I think she's only stopped painting like maybe in the last 5 years because of her eyesight and things got too difficult. But she was a watercolor painter. So a lot of, you know, the early paintings I did, I think I gravitated toward watercolor because she did it. And I saw them all the time, and it was easy. After I did Richard Pryor, man, you know, these giant paintings take a lot out of you. You know, and I realized by the end of it, I had a weight belt on and my back was killing me, and I was just like, oh my God, how am I gonna paint these? How do these guys do this, man? You know, and I was like, you know, after a couple of these, I got to do something smaller, and I started doing the watercolors so that I could sit down.
And those are outstanding. Have you seen his watercolors?
No, I have not. We're gonna.
They look just like the oil.
So when did you transition into what you're doing now?
That was the Breakfast Club.
It was.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Without that, I wouldn't have.
That was so cool. I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah. So
you're
you
kinda
guys,
new.
you guys did that. You know, I showed up and.
I remember when you showed up.
Yeah, people started buying stuff. I was like, what? They're actually going to buy my stuff?
He'd be all cool. He'd have like we're at Noni's, but he'd have like a beer or something. Like, it just always seemed like he had his own drink. He like, whatever.
Right.
This is the art. It'll be somebody else with his art. Like, yes, he has his art right here. I'm like, well, God, this guy's somebody important. You know?
Yeah.
And like, what are these? What is this? It's just watercolor sip. But that's wonderful. And also for the viewers, the Detroit Fine Arts Breakfast Club is founded by Harold Braggs and Henry Harper. I co-host every Monday, so tune in, and as you can see, it gets artists moving.
That's right. Yeah.
Henry was it.
Cool.
Honestly, it was Henry. You know, someone convinced me to go there. I didn't want to go there, and because I didn't think this was actually happening. It didn't make sense to me that people were buying art in a diner. It's like, you kidding me? This is not real.
Yeah, standing room
Go.
outside the.
Make you
Right.
bring every
Yeah.
single art you got.
I've been all kinds of galleries.
And-
Like, no one's buying stuff in a diner, man. Get out of here. So, but I went, and it was obvious right away that something's going on. And so I'm trying to figure out, okay, who's making this happen?
Right.
And within like 5 minutes, you realize it's Henry.
Ding 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 ding
right.
ding or cowbell.
Yeah.
And I'll give Henry a little accolades here because Henry was the one who talked to Ty and asked Ty to come and meet with me.
That is
Nice.
so
Yeah,
cool.
so-
Aw,
Shout
thank
out to
you,
Henry. You gotta come
I
on.
never told you that one, Henry. I was holding it.
Like, what's dirty about art?
Yeah, Henry gave me that tip too. So Henry had told me, look, if Emoji calls, they're good, and so, man, it's, you guess you just meet these people. Henry Harper is one of those people,
Yeah.
and so shout out to Henry, man.
Shout out to Henry.
Yeah.
I want to say this too, just sidebar. Henry was, Debbie was next because Henry has a hot hair. He's Gemini. But he was the one who actually originally was supposed to be making the connection between me and Roger. Hey, Roger. But he said, I don't know, something about this WJZZ place. You just seem like you fit. You just seem like you fit. Just go. I'm
Then
like,
I
okay.
just kind of bugged you.
Yeah. So we're here. And
We're
hey,
here.
thank
Hey,
you, Henry.
thank
You know
you.
you won't come on. He'll come on.
He's gonna come on. We're gonna take a fast break.
Yep, you're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Calibri the Artist, Debbie LaPratt, Ian Grant, Ty Rawls on WJZZ Cool TV. Like, subscribe, share, and comment.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, now we're getting
Right.
back to Down and Dirty Talking Art. Let's go.
What's next? What's next for Ty Rawls, Emoji Fine Arts?
Well, we're still in this Full Bloom show, so
How long is Full Bloom going on?
Well, Full Bloom will go until May 31st.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back striking by the end of June. I can tell you right now, we'll be opening up a merchandise store that will be online, and a portion of it will be in the gallery. So that's basically our next big project that we're working on now, is to be able to work with the artists to get certain pieces of their paintings on certain different images. And that goes back to Annie Lee. I used to represent Annie. And, as you know, Annie was a millionaire, as I indicated, but she went on one of the shopping shows out of Philadelphia. And like in 15 minutes, she was able to make maybe like $200,000.
What?
Of,
What? Oh, my
showing her
God.
different
what are we
images.
waiting for, man?
and-
Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's
So-
our turn.
So, it's all coming. As you guys know, I'm still with a major corporation. And,
coming. And he's retired, but not
Right,
official.
well,
yeah,
waiting for the gorilla to be loose.
right. Well, I'm officially retiring June 30th, coming up here in about 5 weeks, to come 100% full time into this art business. Right now, I think I'm giving it maybe 15 or 20%.
He's doing an amazing job for that.
Thank you.
I mean, it's like, wow,
So,
I can't wait to see what.
I think it's going to take us a year and a half or 2 years to gear up to the 100%, just based on the broad-based plan that we have. And we're looking at creating divisions and layers and everything else like that. And so, again, the Father said, without vision, the people will perish, right?
That's right.
So, I pray all the time, and that's where I get my vision from, pretty much, so that we know how to move forward and how to try to create and how to try to be creative and how to try to be a little different in the marketplace while we keep our integrity and while we service our customers.
That's amazing. Can't wait to see what's coming next.
We're gonna see it.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for Ty Rawls?
Yeah.
I'm working on some things, so yeah. So
Well, Ty, you can let him see one of the jackets that
yeah,
will
He
be
talked,
Yeah.
about, he
Yeah.
talked about merchandise.
so
Yeah.
so there's this jacket here,
Yeah.
and
Jack
there's the
Johnson.
purse.
Yes. And I just want to, we'll have to get like a
Looking
little
this up
close
here.
up. But I love this. First of all, I'm big on just fashions, period.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is
Yeah.
like
But
Yeah.
the
so awesome.
toggles,
Okay, turn around.
it's
Show us
soft.
the
You have
back.
the
Great.
straps. This is Harriet Tubman. And this is, he's like, I don't know what we're going to do, the belly. But you see, that's Jack Johnson. boxer that really doesn't get as much recognition as he should. You know, Harriet Tubman, and the series is called your. Oh, I'm sorry. Celebrating Black History Month.
Yeah. So, you know, the idea is just taking, people from Black history and the Civil Rights Movement, and trying to sort of create icons out of them more than they are already, and you know, I think the idea was, if Harriet Tubman's face was sort of floating around everywhere, it would create a positive vibe. You know, like, it's not a negative thing to have this woman's image all over the place. The same way, you know, someone might be able to argue, like, having, like the Andrew Jackson or something all over the place is creating, you know, bad energy. So maybe we can get her image all over the place to counteract that.
That would be great.
You know,
That'd be great.
and then, you know, they're going to be replacing. They're going to be putting her face on the $20 bill.
Are they really? I didn't
So
know that.
that's
That's big.
you know, I'm kind of, you know, she's a war hero and like the baddest ass woman to ever live. So it feels like completely appropriate to try and honor her, and you know, putting her on purses and shoes and clothes, I think, creates awareness about her image and curiosity in young girls, so they're going to ask about it. And then as soon as you're talking about something, you know it, and it becomes a part of you. So what better story to tell than, you know, an actual freedom fighter who
Can you
fought
give us
slavery?
just a real brief history about her? A lot of people might not
Harriet
know about her.
Tubman, well, she was someone who fought slavery, actually freed slaves, and was later found to be a secret agent for the American government during the Civil War.
Wow.
So she's an actual recognized war hero.
She was
And
a general.
right.
Amazing.
So,
That's very
yeah.
cool.
So I think one of the reasons why we don't know that is because there's such a huge effort from certain people to
Keep it.
bury information like that,
Oh,
like
this
the
should be
Buffalo
out.
Everybody
Soldiers.
should know.
And
This
we're going to be bringing things like that to the table. Again, she helped create with the abolitionists the Underground Railroad, all the way from the south to the north, all the way into Canada. And, you know, Harriet said, and I quote, unquote, that she could have freed many more slaves, only if they knew they were slaves.
Really? Whoa.
And what better way to have an artist
To actually.
to be
Right.
able to, I don't mean just through the merch, but I mean just period, to be able to highlight it.
Oh yeah, and to honor
Right.
her and her what she's done for
Well,
her.
not just honoring, I mean just
It's like
kind of
it's
set
just-
those minds free, you know.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we feel a picture's worth 1,000 words, and we feel we need to constantly see positive images of ourselves, so we
Yes.
feel positive
Right.
about who we are and whose we are. So we're not trying to be like other people. It's okay to be who you are. It's okay to have your own style. You've noticed from rap music to the clothes and everything. It's not usually, Debbie, until the crossover says this is fine, it's okay to wear this and live in this community and to have this in this community or play this kind of music, then it's okay with everybody. By that time, we have lost total control.
Yes.
And so this is why we're developing what's called the Mastermind Group, okay? That's in the process of being created within the next month for some of the sharpest minds around and throughout the country, because we don't want to lose this art industry.
No.
We have already lost the Renaissance artists, the older artists. They basically have sold out to the auction houses and everything. So we want to control this portion of the marketplace, and we have to educate. So we talk about what's called the death of competition with everybody out here. We should not be competing against each other. We should be sitting down and talking about how can we maybe create gallery crawls? How can we do more education sessions? How can we grow the entire business.
Yep.
And this is the last thing I want to say about it. Some people are caught up on originals or if this is a print, but you got to understand in business, if you look at any other major sports or anything going on, they have a minor league and they have a major
Yes,
league.
they do.
So if you sell originals, you need to help create the minor leagues, because those people in the minor leagues, they're the ones that's going to come up to the major league.
Yep.
So if we don't create a bench,
Yep.
it will be created.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Real quick, Ty, could you tell us how to get in touch with you? For viewers that are watching.
Let me see. Probably the best way is just through Emoja. If you go to emojafinearts.com
Do
and
you have the little
leave a
flyer
message.
we can hold up?
Yeah, it's a small one,
Okay.
but
Let us
Just
Make
one
sure you
holder.
check out Art in Full Bloom going on now through May 31st. emojifinearts.com to check out Ty and other artists from the Emoji team. And coming soon.
Ask
merch,
about the
merch,
Josephine Baker piece.
merch. Yeah.
Yeah.
lovely. I think Josephine Baker is next to go.
Well,
Thank you
Hey.
guys.
Thank
Oh
you
my
so
God,
much.
Thank
you
you
guys
so
have been
much.
amazing. Thank you again
All right,
for
everyone.
coming. We're so
Yeah.
excited to have you. We're honored to have you.
yes,
It was a
yes.
fun day.
It's
Thank
always
we
fun.
like being here. It's a lot
We
of
love
fun.
having you guys here. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with LaPratt, Calibri the artist. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
We
Thank
did it.
you. I enjoyed
Thank
that
you
talk.
everybody
I'm
for
hot.
watching. Thank you for
Sorry,
watching.
Susie, not hot.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
No
Thank
way to
you.
see up in
Thank
there.
you everybody.
At first
Remember,
it was
get
like
down and
all
dirty
back and
liking
forth
art.
between hot and cold.
Do you have like these are these LEDs? They must be.
He just
I don't
changed
know.
the
Otherwise
lights
it'd
out.
be even hotter.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, I don't think he's got the air on.
Well, that
Last
was
week it was
cool.
freezing.
I definitely
All right.
do.
Everybody, we're signing off. Everybody wave.
Yeah, I look forward
Bye,
to seeing
everybody.
what's new.
Thank you for supporting Get Down and Dirty and our amazing artists.